Hey, hello everyone, Emily Joan Smith here. How are we doing today? So today I want to talk to you about loving your past self, because a lot of us, including me before, we can live with hating ourselves, but like our past selves, like obviously everyone has had so many like setbacks and things that we regret that we've done in the past, past situations that we think, oh, we could have done that better, or things like that, and we think, oh, why didn't I do this, or why didn't I do that, or hate a section of our lives from the past. So for me, I used to hate the section of my life of when I was depressed, anxious, which was only like 3 years ago, 2 years ago, and I hated myself for that. I hated myself for wasting that time in bed. And I think a lot of us can do this to ourselves. We can hate our past selves. But I'm here to tell you today that you need to learn to love your past self, because your past self got you to where you are now. All the things that you did wrong, all the mistakes you made, all the bad people you met, all the bad jobs you had, all the years of strife, or the months, or the weeks of bad times and being a bad person. And maybe you were just a bad person, like you weren't a very nice person. I know in secondary school, like I sometimes wasn't a nice person. I know in my past that I haven't been a nice person. But you've got to learn to love your past self, because if you don't love your past self, you can't love who you are now. You have to love everything that happened to you, and learn to, and not like, sometimes not love, but learn to accept that that was who you are, because that person who went through trauma or went through all these bad things got you to where you are now. Without that person's strength, without that person's persistence, you would not be who you are today. You wouldn't have the people in your life that you have today. You wouldn't have the friends you have. You wouldn't have the family you have without that person going through what he or she went through. So you have to learn to love yourself. You either have to learn to love your past, accept your past, or just forgive your past. If you weren't a nice person, you have to forgive yourself, because you are now. If you hate your past, you need to try and love it, because it got to you to where you are now. So just try and learn to love your past self. Or if you did some awkward things that you think back and you think, oh my God, why did I do that? You need to learn to laugh at your past self. You just need to learn to forgive, laugh, and love your past self, because if you don't do that, you're still holding on to these negative emotions that aren't getting you anywhere. And the person you were in the past has got you to where you are today. So you need to think, wow, that person was a pretty strong person to get me where I am today. And also, you need to learn to forgive yourself, because with what you knew at that time, with who you were at that time, with what you knew at that time, you did the best you possibly could with knowing what you knew then. Obviously, if you were in them situations now, you would have handled it differently, because you know things differently now. But back then, you did your best with what you knew. You can't hate yourself for not knowing things that you know now, because your past self is a completely different person. So you need to learn to love that person. You need to learn to forgive that person, and you need to learn to laugh at that person. Else you're just not going to get anywhere forward, because you're going to be thinking about the past. You need to be thinking about now. So I just want you to think about that, and try and love that past person, or forgive that past person, or whatever negative emotions you have to your past self. You need to try and flip that to a positive emotion, because that person got you to where you are now. But yeah, that's what I want you to know. That you just need to do them things for you now, to move forward for a better present and a better future. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this has helped you. I hope this has given you something to think about. Please share it to your timeline, because you never know on your timeline who needs to hear this, and please give it a like if you have liked it. But yeah, I hope you're having a fabulous day and you're doing well. And if no one has told you today, I'm proud of you and I really appreciate you. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow with another new video. Bye.